Hey, what's up guys? You're here with Goran from Pick Dawgz and you're here for your free picks from this Europa League matchups that we have on Thursday. That's March 9th. 8 games on the schedule in the Europa League, guys, and I seriously hope that they are gonna be better than the Champions League games we had on Tuesday and Wednesday. We had a couple of teams performing on a high level. Those were Chelsea and Bayern Munich. And then again, we had teams like Borussia Dortmund who failed miserably. We have Tottenham, the team that also failed miserably. PSG went down without firing a single shot, and it's over for them in the Champions League. And we are waiting for the next four quarterfinals teams for the Champions League that is happening next week. In the Europa League, guys, this is the round of 16 that we have. We have 8 great games going on Thursday. 4 of those are at 12:45 p.m. Eastern, and 4 of those are at 3 p.m. Eastern. You can get a free pick for every single game in this video. You don't have to go look for the other ones because everything will be in this one single video. And of course, there is that parlay of the day video that we'll have up on the Pickdawgz YouTube channel as well. So check that one out as well. Let's kick it off, guys, with this Union Berlin versus Saint-Gilloise matchup that we have going on. And we know that Union Berlin has been on fire this season overall in Bundesliga and the Europa League as well. Even though they have won only 2 of their last 6 games, after losing to Bayern Munich a couple of weeks ago, they kind of bounced back and they got a draw against Köln at home. While Saint-Gilloise on the other side, on the road, they are horrible. They haven't won any of their last 3 games on the road. Even though they are scoring goals consistently, they are conceding a lot more. And for that reason, I think that Union Berlin deserves to be the favorites that they are here. Minus 165 right now, which honestly, it is a very good price for the money line on the better team, if you ask me. And Union Berlin hasn't lost any of their last 17 home games. I'm going to push this one a little bit further into plus money, and I'm going to take Union Berlin minus 1. It's plus 108 right now, which means basically that if Union Berlin wins by a goal, we are getting a push, and if they win by 2 or more goals, we are getting a win at plus 108. In the second matchup, guys, we have another German team playing against Ferencváros, and that is Bayer Leverkusen. Ferencváros is the best team in Hungary. They have been the best team in Hungary for years, and it will probably stay that way as well. But there is a big quality difference. There is a big quality gap between Leverkusen playing in Bundesliga and Ferencváros playing in Hungary. Now, I'm not trying to underestimate Ferencváros. They have been in excellent form. They haven't lost any of their last 14 games, and in the previous round of the Europa League, they have beaten, I'm trying to find who they beat. I'm not sure I can find it though. But never mind with that. I still think that they are a decent team, and they are playing in good form. Like I said, they haven't lost any of their last 8 games on the road, and they haven't lost any of their last 14 games overall. But then again, we have Leverkusen on the other side, team that's coming off of a nice win against Hertha 4-1. They're back to scoring goals, and they are still conceding goals. So I do see a lot of goals in this one, guys. But for a nice value, I'm going to take Bayer Leverkusen to score in both halves at minus 110. Simply because they are the better team here with more quality. I think the sooner they score a goal, easier it's going to be for them for the rest of the game. And for that reason, like I said, I'm going to take Bayer Leverkusen to score in both halves. In the next matchup, guys, in the Europa League, still 12:45 p.m. Eastern, we have Roma hosting Real Sociedad. And this one, I think, should be fairly even because we have Real Sociedad who likes to play the type of games where they are dominant in possession, where they have a lot of passes, and they like to hold the ball a lot. And I think that's going to work for Roma because I don't think they will be too eager to attack. If they score a goal, I think that's going to be good for them. But if not, I kind of feel like they will be happy to go at least with a draw to play on the road in the second leg. But like I said, I think it's going to be a fairly even matchup. And yes, I would give a slight advantage to Roma here because they haven't. They are on a 4-game winning streak now at home. They are playing well. They haven't conceded a goal in their last 3 home games, actually 4 home games, and they seem to be getting healthier, and they are getting that consistency in. Uh, like I said, Real Sociedad likes to dominate their games, but they're not scoring a lot of goals as of late, and they actually haven't won any of their last 3 games. So I was gonna go originally with the under 2.5, but that is actually minus 195 price, which is insane. But then I decided to go with both teams to score. No, it's minus 141. It is a better price. I think that's a very decent alternative for the under 2.5. I simply don't see Real Sociedad getting on the scoreboard here. I think that Roma is dominant right now, and especially defensively, they are very stable. So both teams to score, no. Arsenal will be traveling to Lisbon in Portugal to face Sporting, and I think this is gonna be a very fun game to watch because we have two teams in excellent form right now. Arsenal on a 4-game winning streak, Sporting also on a 4-game winning streak, and both teams have been scoring a lot of goals as of late. Arsenal has 7 goals in their last 2 games. Sporting has scored 7 in their last 3 games, and they have kept 3 clean sheets in a row. Now, it's always dangerous to play the over 2.5 in the first game of the matchup, in the first leg. But that's exactly what I'm going to go with here, simply because, like I said, we have 2 outstanding teams in that attack again. And I'm not doing this only because of Arsenal, because Sporting is very capable of scoring goals, and Arsenal has been struggling a little bit defensively as of late. So I do like the over 2.5. It's plus 104 right now. I think that's an excellent price. I think the game might be a little bit slow at the beginning, but then if we see a goal, a few good chances from either side, I think it's going to open up, and that's when we start seeing great chances, and that's when we start seeing goals. So I'm going to go with over 2.5 in this one. In the next matchup, guys, we are moving to the 3 p.m. slot, and the first game we have is going to be between Juventus and Freiburg. Juventus lost to Roma in that big derby this past weekend in the Serie A. It was 1-0, while Freiburg is actually undefeated in their last 5 games right now, and in their last 2 games they got 2 draws out of it. In the last game against Borussia Mönchengladbach, they were the better team for most of the game. They were solid on that defensive end. They just couldn't score a goal, and that game ended in a 0-0 draw, which I think it's actually pretty good for them because it gave them the opportunity to focus a little bit more on their defense, and that's something they will need against Juventus here on the road. So I think that Freiburg has a decent chance of getting the positive result out of this game. I think that they are a very good team, the team that's still fighting for the title in Bundesliga, and the team that did a solid job in the previous round in the Europa League by beating Sandhausen or something like that. I'm not even sure who they beat, but they were good, and they definitely deserve a look here. So instead of taking Juventus on the money line, the team that lost in their previous game, I'm going to take the double chance of Freiburg at plus 123, which is something I always like to do because we are getting the plus money on the outcome that is covering us on 2 out of possible 3 outcomes in the game. So I'm going to give this one a shot with Freiburg on the double chance. Manchester United is hosting Real Betis, and they are kind of in a bad mood right now after losing 7-0 to Liverpool in the EPL this past weekend, and they will need to bounce back because Betis is a solid team. Betis is on a 4-game streak without a loss. They have won 3 of those 4 games, and they are definitely capable of being a threat against Manchester United, even though it's on the road. United hasn't lost any of their last 19 home games, and at home they are one of the most consistent teams in Europe right now, and in the EPL as well. And they have actually won their last 3 home games in a row. Now, like I said, United lost. They suffered that horrible loss against Liverpool. It was 7-0. They weren't able to do anything. But like I said, they will need to bounce back, and they will need to try to get a win and get back on track. Maybe they would be happy with a draw at home. I'm not so sure because I think that they have more quality than Betis has. But this is the type of a game where I decided to stay away from the sides and goals and whatnot because we have Betis coming to play on the road against Manchester United. When Betis is playing, I always like to look at the cards, at Betis' team total of cards. And this is what I'm going to do in this game as well. I'm going to take Betis over 2.5 cards at minus 141. I think that Manchester United will be a bit more dominant team here. They will try to get to the scoreboard as soon as possible. They will try to create more and more chances to kind of bounce back. And that will force Betis to make a few extra fouls and have that a little bit more roughness, which they have in spades as it is. And then again, when they're put under pressure, I think that's going to multiply. So I'm going to take Betis over 2.5 cards at minus 141. In the next matchup, guys, that is the second to last matchup in the Europa League. We have Sevilla hosting Fenerbahce, and you know what? Sevilla was on a huge roll, on a huge, nice, positive streak. They were playing well, but then again, now they have lost their last 3 games in a row, and they haven't won any of their last 4. Fenerbahce on the other side is the best team in Turkey probably, and I believe they won the title last season. Now they haven't won any of their last 9 games. They haven't lost any of their last 6 games on the road, and they are playing really, really well. They are scoring a lot of goals, and they are not conceding that many goals. They actually kept a clean sheet a couple of weeks ago as well. But playing in the Europa League against the team that's very used to playing in the Europa League knockouts, the team that has won this competition multiple times over the last few years, it's not going to be an easy task. And as we can see, Sevilla is minus 134 favorites, so the books are kind of expecting Sevilla to be the better team, the dominant team here. And I think that will be the case here as well. I'm going to go with Sevilla on the money line at minus 134. I would like for this price to be a little bit closer to the even money, but still, the time for that might come because I feel like people will be putting a little bit more money on the Fenerbahce just because the form of Fenerbahce is much better than Sevilla's is. But I will take Sevilla on the money line regardless, and hope that they can snap that losing streak they are on right now. And the last game of the Europa League on Thursday, guys, is between Shakhtar Donetsk and Feyenoord. Once again, we have 2 excellent teams, 2 teams playing in amazing form right now. Shakhtar hasn't lost any of their last 5 home games. They haven't lost any of their last 8 or 9 games overall, and they are the type of a team that likes to score a lot of goals, which they are doing right now. They have scored 11 goals in their last 2 games, and I get it, none of those teams that they played against was at the same level as Feyenoord is, but I still like Shakhtar's chances here. Feyenoord hasn't lost any of their last 20 games, and they have actually won a lot of their they have won their last 7 games in a row, 6 actually, and during this streak they have scored at least a goal in each of those games, while in 4 of those games they have scored at least 2. Now, offensively, this team is a very, very good team. Defensively, not as much. They are conceding a lot of goals. They are conceding goals pretty consistently, and I think that Shakhtar will know how to take advantage of that. But to take the volatility out of the pick, I'm not going to take both teams to score. I'm going to take, actually, I am going to take both teams to score at minus 141. But what I was going to say, to take the volatility out of this pick, I'm going to just take both teams to score. But then if you like the plus money, guys, take both teams to score at over 2.5. I think that's going to hit as well in this game. And I think this is going to be one of the most entertaining matchups that we have. And luckily for us, it is the last game of the day that we have. It is at 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you're not interested in anything else, if you're not interested in those big teams like United, Juventus, or whatever, I would definitely stick to this one because I have a feeling it's going to be a highly entertaining game with a lot of chances on both sides. And for that reason, I'm going with both teams to score. But then again, add over 2.5 to that, and you're getting nice plus money for a nice winning pick. So that's it for this one, guys. That's it, guys. 8 games on schedule in the Europa League on Thursday. I'll be tuning in for a few of those, most definitely, and I'll definitely be placing some bets on these games, and probably every single one of these free picks that I gave out, maybe even combine a few. So if that's something you like to do, feel free to do that as well. That's it, guys. Thank you for joining me here. For my best bets, click the link in the description of this video, and that will get you up to my Pickdawgz website page where you can subscribe to one of those passes I have up there. And that's it. Enjoy your Thursday. Good luck with your bets, guys. And I'll see you soon with more free picks.